MacGyver 2 says for $5, after seeing that Popcast panel with Terry Matalas, The Critical Drinker, Gary, Dave Cullen, RMB, and Matt Kadish, Matalas really earned my respect.
Now, if you just answer my messages.
Yeah, I've never reached out to him, but yeah,
I'm sure we're still persona non grata.
Well, could be. But Picard is now season 3 of Picard, the one which is fully controlled by Terry Matalas, apart from some things that he's bound by way of it being season 3. It's been firing on all cylinders. I know someone who feels that way, and that would be Paul. What's your verdict on Picard thus far?
I'm doing a standing ovation now. You can't see it, but I'm standing.
He's standing on his hands, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't
show
it because the mic would be at crotch level. But I think it's if it concludes the way it has started, this is going to be book worthy. This is an epic turnaround in the history of turnarounds. How's that?
Is it redemptive?
Too bad it's
Paul?
on a road to nowhere.
I think it's redemptive. I put it this way: it's a ton of fun, and all this anxiety, angst-ridden Star Trek that we had to put up with. You kind of forgot that it's just space cowboy opera, and this is just good fun with characters that we really, really love, who can act with moments of again, I've talked about this before, the history of the franchise is so deep that when Shaw is in the bar with Picard, and he is laying out his hatred of Locutus and what Picard did to his vessel and the 20 other starships that went after the Borg, it was just fantastic. And his hatred for Picard was palpable. I mean, because Shaw is played by a phenomenally good actor, but he also realized that he wasn't really Picard, and he overstepped in his anger and apologized later, and it was for all the right reasons. I really, really enjoyed the show. The only slip up was the Changeling was dispensed. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. The Changeling was dispensed with way too easily for all the havoc that it caused. You really wanted a good takeout.
No, I agree with that. That's one of the things that bothered me, in addition to something that I posted a week or so ago about 7 of 9 character and how she's it should be flipped. Shaw, if he doesn't like Borg or is having trouble with Borg, he should be constantly referring to her as Commander 7 when she wants to be said, no, I'm Annika Hansen, because I'm not a Borg anymore. I'm an individual. That was part of her journey. But they did the opposite, and I thought that's very anti-Star Trek. Just didn't sit well with me, and it would have been more interesting for that twist that happened when that changeling is discovered, and the following line as a sign of respect is like, well, yeah, respect should be respecting someone's individuality. 7 of 9 is not really a name of individuality; it's a designation given to you by a very controversial culture that actually robs people of their cultures and identities in favor of a homogenized one. Just didn't feel very Star Trek-y to me.
Anyone else who's seen it?
Just the two of us, okay.
Well, no, I've seen it. I've
Oh,
seen
you've
it
seen
too. And I will say, like, going in, for those that may not recall my earlier videos, I absolutely hated Picard season 1. Words cannot express how much I loathe it. From that point on, the series needed to be changed from Picard to the android replica of the late Picard. I did not watch season 2. I had no intention of watching season 3 until my good friend Robert Meyer Burnett really started to sing its praises. And I was like, he's really going overboard with this. Like, it can't be that good. And now, as I've watched... Actually, I noticed it prior to this week's episode, prior to episode 4. I spent the last 3 or 4 days looking forward to it. You know how jaded I am from all like the shit movies and series that we've gotten like past decade, half decade. I'm so jaded I don't look forward to anything. But I was actually looking forward to season or episode 4 all week. And now 4 episodes in, I'm blown away by how good it is. Like, the only thing that holds it back are the things that are leftovers from the earlier seasons. The leftovers from, you just have to deal with the fact that Picard is a robot, which is ridiculous, but there's no way around it because Matalas was bound to that. And there's some characters that I really rather weren't there. Because, again, they just remind us that this builds on 2 shitty seasons. But taken as a standalone, again, this is the single greatest homage/retelling of the Wrath of Khan I've ever seen. And it's such a love letter to the entire franchise. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I did not think that would be possible, but here we are. And I can't wait for the remaining episodes.
Well, that's also something that Paul brought up, because he said beforehand it was all about anxiety. Now we're seeing a season of competence and confidence.
Yes.
And encouragement.
Exactly.
And it's more in spirit with Star Trek than what we've gotten since these shows have started. Now, again, I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm not dreading it. I'm just like, oh, if it's on, I'm gonna watch it, because I'm still waiting for that one blow away moment, because this recent episode they telegraphed a lot of their spoilers like blatantly towards the end, which I thought was kind of weird, but yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's nice. It's on par with some of the better episodes of The Next Generation, in my opinion.
One of the nice touches, which I don't know if anyone would have necessarily noticed, but when they were in the ready room debating what they should do, and the whole idea of catching on to the contractions of the giant nebula or whatever the thing was,
space surfing essentially,
and space surfing on the energy stream, when they were bashing that about and Riker was not completely convinced, rather than him just turning around and going, okay, let's do it, he actually came up with his own twist on it.
He contributed, yeah.
And I went, that really stuck out, that he didn't just get convinced by the group, and including, they avoided the speech, the big speech that energizes everybody. And he went, yeah, and I can do this. And then at the very end, when he took out the method that he used to take out the plumber's ship, that was fantastic. I thought
that was genius. I was just glad that Michael Burnham wasn't there to dictate to everyone exactly what had to be done. But what has to be done is, Tom, chime in.
I was just going to say, here's my problem with it. I see why everybody's liking it. I understand why people are liking it. I don't have the drawback to it that a lot of people have. Like, I am not dying to go back to the 4th episode. Like, I'm just gotten to this point. Maybe part of it's like I'm feeling burnt out because every other fucking YouTuber but us has gotten to see the whole season. And I feel like we're kind of left out of the train. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. We have been the ones who've been reporting on Star Trek since the beginning. But all right, no problem. I'm not going to take that personally. But on the other end of it, what you said, Andre, is my main problem. The baggage. The baggage from the first 2 seasons, the second season, which I didn't even watch, but it's still there, looming over it. It is making me go like, just kind of move away from it. Like, same thing with Mandalorian. I don't have that in me to go, oh, there's a new episode. It's like, I don't give a shit. I really don't care. People have been asking me about Picard and Mandalorian the last 2 days. I really don't give a shit. Like, I don't know if I'm just being a Debbie Downer over it, but I don't know. Nothing about it has really sucked me into it. All I've seen is, oh, great, we get another one like Nemesis and like Wrath of Khan all over again. And it still hasn't fixed anything for me.
Well,
I mean, yes, some of the characters are fun, but I don't know. It's like, to me, it reminds me of a girlfriend who thinks everything should be great after she fucked you over and cheated on you, and you're back together. And sure, she's great and she's being bubbly and nice and all these wonderful things that she used to be. Still don't change the fact that she fucked some other guy. I mean, it's, that's what it feels like to me. I feel dirty watching it.
Well,
It's a fair point of view after everything that fans have suffered through the past decade. So, yeah, I don't blame you or anyone for feeling that way.
But okay, so Tom, based on what I've been hearing, right, and of course, obviously the Popcast show and everything else that people are talking about, and all the positive things I've been hearing about it from people that I, trust, I think, for lack of a better way of putting it, I'm actually going to be trying to catch up on Picard and take a look at it and see what I think. Look, the first
You'll take her back, won't you, Culture? You'll take her back.
Well, it's not so much as the girlfriend. It's basically you had the girlfriend that cheated on you, and in the background was her twin sister that actually liked you. And now that the girlfriend's gone, the twin sister's like, hey, do you want to date me? It's like, well, you remind me of my ex-girlfriend, but your personality is actually tolerable, and I might actually want to spend time with you.
The metaphors deepen.
Oh wow, I like the twin sister thing, especially if she has a sparkling personality. But
Tom, will you take her back if it's a twin sister? Will you take her back?
I know
I
this.
don't know. There's a lot of variables there.
There you go. I like I said, I will be trying it out, Tom, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. But I had the same.
No, I will go to the fourth. I will get to the fourth episode. I don't know, something about it just hasn't set right with me, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. I'm not trying to like bring down people's enjoyment of it. I know I'm surprised Paul didn't even have a comment about me being a Debbie Downer over it, but no, I something about it just hasn't been setting right with me since the start. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. And with that, let us move into the